Okay, so the next box is pre-owned and auction wins, mostly pre-owned purchases, all from Hattons. They've been sat in my trunk for probably a couple of months or more, bits and pieces adding to it until I get fed up, have a bit of a lull period and just pay the postage or bring it in. Or if you think if you spend more than 250, they do shout you the postage. This is the first little bit I've got out. Quick pan round. We've got a couple more of the twin depressed centre tankers. These cost me £19 each, which was I think a little bit more than the ones I'd bought that were out unboxed, the earlier Lima variant, which is exactly the same. I've got some Hornby ones I think I picked up. I've mentioned them on my channel before. I was a bit reluctant, £19. I think that was a little bit more than I'd paid before. I think it was about 17. But anyway, I bit the bullet. Two were on. I bought the pair. They'd held back some and put them on the auction site because I found them and watched them, and within a matter of days they'd already gone beyond the buy it now price that they'd had them on their pre-owned shop. And I think they ended up selling on their marketplace site for about £27–28. So actually biting the bullet paid off in that case. A yeoman, another yeoman. I always pick them up when they're the right price. Again, this is another weird one with them. Sometimes they're sensible money, sometimes they're not. This was £6.74 because there's a tiny little piece of detail that holds the ladder in place, and one of them's broke off, so the ladder pokes out a little bit. As you can probably see on camera, it doesn't really show up that much. Probably broke some more detail. That one there, so a little dab of soft glue or even black tack would rectify that situation. Cat and cement one, I paid a little bit more than I would have liked for that, but I've already got some. I've been watching these because obviously I want to do a parcel depot. They sent me a message saying, because I'd got this in my wish list, that was £8. Little Volkswagen camper van, £3, which is cheaper than they are at the toy fair sometimes. It's about £4. And the first of the MGRs was £7, which is another weird one. Sometimes they're 7 and then another time they want 17 quid. It depends on what sort of variation of this model it is, but I think probably the awful cool load is maybe detracting the price. But a bit of a soak, and we'll hoof that out, because obviously that's rather like a steam cool. So that was that. They came up with obviously these from someone's clearance estate sale. They're £3.50, £4 a pack now, aren't they? So they were £2. So I bought 2 of them, cleared them out, and the real bargain on this little bit was this. This is a Weissman animated model, which any of their animated models are not cheap. And this is the chickens. Now the idea is obviously use scenic, a little mound with scatter or static grass or something, and underneath there you make a hole. There's a little motor and a magnet underneath this, and it rotates round and the chickens peck. So they look like feeding chickens. All you need is say like another little figure of a woman with a bucket of grain throwing out the chicken feed, and the chickens are going round pecking away. Looks quite effective. Not many people have it on their model because it's around about £37, £40 with the shipping. I've seen it even £59 if you want to get it from Germany. This was on their auction and I wasn't expecting to get it cheap. I thought, well, you know, I'll go because it's unusual and it's a nice animated thing. I'll maybe bite the bullet and maybe push myself to £15–20, expecting to get knocked out of the running fairly rapidly, and I don't think people realised what it was. They hadn't advertised it and described it very well. I got it for £6, brand new. It's an absolute steal at that price. Not everyone's cup of tea, but yeah, 40 odd pound, that's why you don't see them very often. Well, the problem with you buying the second hand one is once you've done it, you can't refer back to anything other than their description on the list, and you can't click back to the pictures that we used to describe it, unfortunately. This cost £14. It's a Gunderson. They're normally a set of 3. There was only 2, but the description does make no mention of a wheel truck bogie assembly being broken off. So I don't know whether that's happened in transit. You can clearly see that's been glued before. But basically that puts me down to 1 trailing unit as opposed to adding 2. Because the idea is that it sits on there and then another one would connect to that on that end. Or you would have the final one, would have that. So it can connect up to the next rake. Which would have been on the 3rd wagon that's never turned up. So don't know what happened, what the story is behind this, but I bought them because I thought, well, I can add it to my rake. But yeah, I might have to email them over that because I can't find on their listing. It just says pre-owned fair box. Well, this was an auction win off of their site. I just had alarm bells ring because a disconnected tender, no wires between the two, no pickups. There's 2 little holes there where a mounting plate should be. I'm thinking, well, they never said that the tender coupling section was missing. On closer inspection there's a little slot where the bar goes through, and there's a tiny screw behind that big one that locks this in, but I'm surprised it's not got tender pickup, although I suspect it may be an earlier mainline, although the part number they've given for it says it is an 8-pin DCC-able Loco, which is why I bid on it, so I'm hoping it is. It said pristine with accessories fitted, i.e. the crew, and as much as I can see nothing's too dire as missing, but it was slightly cheaper than they sell them for, so we're still in the bargain territory as long as it works. They said it's testing and running, so I shall have to have the body off just to make sure it is an 8-pin, because if not it will be bloody split chassis. Come by basically brand new, but used but not used. Still in the packaging, so like the other ones I got the other week from Model Junction at Slough, they were £8.95 and £9 for brand new stock. These are obviously been purchased by Hattons and they've marked them down, which they don't always do. I have seen them sell them offers, basically, you know, oh, it's a sale price, a couple of quid off, and it's used stock or pre-owned. So we've got the large point. These are all Electro Frog. The weird bit is here we've got obviously the newer packaging. I've written on them I paid £8, £8, £8, £8. You can see how the packaging's changed over the years. Now, which one would you say is more eco-friendly and recyclable? I know which one I would pick, strange enough. And this one is basically the same as that, but the other hand, this was £9. All the others were priced at £8. Go figure. And this one also, probably from the same source, £9. So quite why a right hand one is £1 more than a left hand one, but it's what I was paying for the brand new ones. These are essentially brand new, and they are £10 cheaper than they would be if I was to buy. Well, I wouldn't buy them if they're £20 a pop. If I was to start afresh from scratch, the price of track, let alone roller, couldn't do it. And this is another one, which is well, it's basically the same but slightly shorter, which means it's usually, I think these are about 15 and they're 19, and this was still £9. So again, there's no parity with their pricing, but again, it's still £6-7 cheaper than it would be in a shop. So it's like it or lump it. So we got all those as well. So another little box opening. I don't know why one went in a jiffy bag. and the other ones go in boxes. But yeah, all of those £7 each, so I bought 5 of those. The irony is they held back some. Don't know why they don't all just list them in one go, but they held some back. They put them on their auction site. What they started them at, about £2 or £3. I watched them because I thought, oh well, I'll have another punt, but obviously I'm not going to pay more than £7 when I've already paid £7 within a couple of 3 days. Once again, one was up to £9.24, the other one was trailing. I watched them, £10.83 I think one sold for, and the other one was over £11. Now I've just paid £7 off the auction site. They've put some more through on the pre-owned site, again at £7, and I bought another 2 at £7. As you know, I bought the job lot, or a tray full, from a dealer, which I think they worked out about £6.80, £7 something. I just don't figure out why people are paying £10 plus. I mean, on eBay they're always going for more than this. Is why I never buy them on eBay unless they come with a load of other wagons. They're just not practical to buy them. And the almost last leg here, we've got one more box, were these couple of American RF and P Richmond, Fredericksburg and Potomac. I went for these because I haven't got a lot of more modern wagons. You've got the older ones where they used to have the walkways and the brake wheels on the top. So one was £6 because it has that one was 7. This one was the iffy one, I think. It's got a missing coupling, which is just the piece is broken off, and this one just falls out. It looked like the stubs were worn or pushed together. I just tried to separate them, and one half snapped off. So I will have to carefully drill a hole in that, I guess, and then fill that so that I can put a screw in, or put a nut and bolt and washer in, and attach that permanently, and just leave a friction washer in there, and again change that stupid horrible plastic coupling, which doesn't seem to work properly anyway. So that needs sorting, and the coupling's changing, and one of these is just twisted in the box. But the last thing was a quick fire. Literally, I bought it before someone else did. It came up on their pre-owned listing. I clicked literally as I got the email and started just, you know, flicking through the adverts, and I thought, bloody hell, you don't see these very often. Coming up second hand. I think new now in the UK they're about £180. So some of you will already know what that is, because there isn't many wagons that are £180 that are HO / use 100. And I looked on eBay, and even the N-gauge ones were selling for £90 to £100. There hasn't been in the last 3 months an HO001 on there, but I know from occasionally when I've seen them, you know, scrolling down the lists, they make over £100. And I still wouldn't spend that on a track cleaner. So yes, we have a slightly tarnished billet of brass with a hole drilled in it and a couple of valves, and yeah, never thought I'd ever own one of these. Don't know whether I'll keep it. Cmx Track cleaner. It's quite heavy, as you might expect or have been seen. So yeah, I bought it because I've never seen them at this price. Still more than I would spend on a track cleaner, but when are you going to get one of these? So I'm a bit, do I sell it and make a little bit of money and put it towards something else, because to me it's dead money, because most of the time it's not going to be doing anything, is it? You're not getting any enjoyment from it. It serves a purpose, it's a tool, and like many tools you can find something to do the same job for a lot less money. So it was sort of like, well, I'll buy it with a view to selling it, or maybe I'll keep it, because it was still a lot of money. So yeah, I'll, because I don't know what stuff I can use for it over here. I'm certainly not going to be putting the overpriced Gugon or whatever it is that you put in it. I should be looking at alternatives. Plus some of my rolling stock do have the traction tyres, and I know some of the chemicals aren't traction tyre friendly. And it looks like it needs a replacement strip. And I know their stuff is obviously more than you could buy something else, so I'll have to look and see what guys are using as an alternative, possibly. There is a slight fibrous to it, so I know some people use J-cloths. But yeah, we'll give it a go. They're just a lot of money. Well, that's it, folks. See you on the next one.